¿Y qué hizo que regresaras como jugador?
No, de hecho estoy cumpliendo varios roles ahora. Estoy cumpliendo de coach, analista y bueno, sigo siendo jugador a pesar de todo.
I'm actually doing everything right now. I'm the coach, I'm the analyst, and I came back as a player.
Oh, okay. So he's doing everything right now. So with that kind of knowledge, how does he see the matchup against onic? Because considering onic are one of the favorites here coming into MSC.
Y con todo este conocimiento, ¿cómo ves tu enfrentamiento en contra de onic? Ya que onic son uno de los favoritos en el torneo.
La verdad no estaría tan seguro porque es una experiencia nueva para mí internacionalmente. Es la primera vez que puedo enfrentarme a equipos internacionales y bueno, todo dependerá de cómo nos desempeñemos, cómo estemos trabajando como equipo, pero por lo general yo nos veo bien personalmente contra onic.
I can really be certain because this is first for me. It's the first experience that we get a chance to go against international level teams. So I personally think that we are really good right now in terms as a team, but I couldn't be sure.
Okay. Any nerves though? Is there nerves
¿Y
up against onic?
¿Cómo van los nervios? ¿Te sientes un poco nervioso?
No, no me siento nervioso.
No, not at all.
That didn't need translation. I felt that confidence coming through. But of course, you're going head to head later on with Kyrie. Is there anything maybe you want to say to Kyrie come this next matchup?
¿Te vas a enfrentar 1-1 contra Kyrie? ¿Hay algo que le quisieras decir a Kyrie en este enfrentamiento?
Nada, que sea un buen juego y que bueno, que gane mejor.
I wish for a good game and may the best one win.
Oh, nice. Cold, calm, collected. I like that. Hydon Bush, good luck for your next match because we're throwing it over back to the studio.
A lot of people are haunted by their past. I'm inspired by it.
They're not just playing for themselves, they're really playing for their entire family.
They have defeated their demons! They have crushed the curse! He thinks he can come in here and play my game! He knows nothing but go!
Tyler 1, you're done. You're done.
Raw energy! Off and blow the house down!
Back on the studio and here on the stage for draft. Game number 2 between onic and Entity 7. It was tough for Entity 7 to say the least as onic stomped right through them, through their Marcel, and of course, that Granger picked up by Kelra. Redmar and Mirko here still talking to you over the draft. Okay, I think we can go back to maybe the first set of bans here for E7. I feel like that Claude ban was way too much.
I feel like everything was a bit too much, Redmar, right? Because we have to take into account that for me, at least, looking at those drafts, Entity 7 were coming into game number 1, not trying to win, but trying not to lose, right? Because usually you would ban Fanny and Ling, and you would pick up a jungler in the first phase, knowing, okay, they went up on the Hirara, it's going to be closed out later on in the second phase for sure, but they didn't put enough respect onto the Hirara. They didn't even put any respect into the jungle.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they even let go of the Eudora, which is kind of crazy, right? Like, it's almost like a guarantee, especially against a team like onic, that they want to go on Assassin. So you need to try to take that very good combo with an Assassin, aka also a counter to the Assassin in the Eudora.
Yeah, that's why looking at the draft for Entity 7 earlier, it felt reactive in the sense that realizing their first 3 picks felt like some of Onyx's greatest hits.
Yep.
They took away the Harrow, they took away the Phobius, they took away the Eve, all of that are just screaming Onyx's greatest hits. It felt like the most proactive pick that they went for was actually the last pick, Chip. Though in the big picture, it did end up having difficulty with the team fighting being kind of awkward around the golden hour of the Marcel. It just didn't work out for them. So now at least they switch up the sides and they ban out the Fanny, they ban out the Valentina. I think, okay, with onic banning out the Atlas, they don't have the Atlas access anymore. Phobius is still open, Freya might not be the best pick. Would it be too much if they just rush to the Hirara right now?
I think it's a bit too much again because, okay, there you go.
That's better.
I really like the Eudora, right? If you want to go up against Assassins, if you want to pick up an Assassin as well, the Eudora should be it. And now we're seeing it, you know, kind of escalate in Prio. Love it. But now for onic, I don't think they need to pick up an assassin right now. They just go for... what are the picks? The Belric's gone, Atlas is gone, Marcel's also gone. They go for the Cho, all right. Straight up for Rome, a comfort for Keyboy.
Yeah. And honestly,
Then what?
Looking at the other picks from today, I felt like the Cho might be something teams might want to revisit as a priority, considering that there was one draft earlier in TL versus Aurora where the Cho would have looked perfect, but then it got banned away. So onic now, they're being proactive. They pick up the Cho, they still end up with a Hirara for Kyrie, and now why not go ahead put up a Ling, because there's a risk it might get kicked away. But I feel like you have to take that risk. Consider the Ling, so at least you get the assassin versus assassin, and if you cannot play in the objective fights, at least you play the map.
And this is why, for me, I think it would have been better for Entity 7 to stay on red side. It's okay being the team to respond over with the picks. It's just you need to take these prio picks away, right? Marcel, first pick for onic in game number 1. That should have been the Eudora Hirara instantly for Entity 7. Now, there's so many picks up for grabs. Even if they get another, let's say they go for a gold lane, even an XP lane and a Paquito, then Esmeralda just shows up for onic. There's so many ways to respond it over, and they pick the Harley into a Cho. onic, again, they know that this Cho will be good against anybody, against the Ling, against the Harley, and now as the Harley got the Kacha, I honestly feel like the Esmeralda or the Uranus will show up. There you go, those tanky, sustainable XP lanes.
Yeah.
Great for Lutfi.
Yeah, and now Team Entity 7 need to watch out, just constant invades, and even if it's not invades, just vision provided by the Uranus, leaving the EXP lane, showing up, messing you up, and just feeding all the information that onic needs. I feel like this Harley, at the end of the day, was just like, Coach, you know what? I'm feeling more Harley this time around. Maybe not the Ling. We saw Haidon Bush use it a lot during their last Amber season anyway, so that is screaming comfort. But Romid Trio, all magic. They need some physical damage in here through the EXP and the gold lane.
And that's where it'll get very difficult, right? I feel like for onic right now, they should be comfortable playing one of those unorthodox gold laners, something of a strong side here. They ban out the Dairoth, so interesting. I guess they're thinking Entity 7, because they might not be able to get a gold lane with physical damage, that they'll look to try to put the physical damage into XP. That's why they go for the Dairoth ban, but there you go. The Eve gets taken out as well. Not too big of a fan of that, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's because they're considering setting up for a carry pick. That's the only reason why they'd want to ban out the Eve right now.
Not too big of a fan of that either, right? Because the Brody is what I'm thinking about for onic.
Yeah. Oh, for onic?
Yeah, because I think they are trying to get... I mean, I think they're reading into the carry pick for Entity 7.
Yeah.
With the Eve ban as well, so I think they might just be going for Brody.
Alright, let's see if Entity 7 reads it.
Sora ban as well.
Ban out the Keller hero now. Ban out that Brody. Might be the best call for Entity 7. And if it's not the Brody, at this point, it's a plug and play, honestly. I think we've said that a lot for onic, especially in MPL ID. A lot of times, a lot of picks, you could just plug and play anything, and they'll find a way to make it work.
With the Cho and the Hirara, with the Uranus as well, all of them can chase the Harley. I don't really even think that the Harley can make it to the backline of onic, so I wouldn't even be too surprised if onic go for even like something as crazy as a Farsa even up against these assassins, because again, Juicin ban, Eve ban, they've taken away a lot of the safer choices in mid. The next best thing would probably be a Lilia if you're thinking safety.
Yeah.
I think onic aren't thinking about safe. I think they're thinking about dominating.
Yeah, if you want domination, of course, you still have the option of Sans to suddenly show up with the Kadita, get that Petrify up, hardcore pick-off combo with that Cho, and instantly, if you delete the door, you delete someone. But they don't want to. They don't want to go for that. It's fine.
Safe.
Safety's good. Safety's good. Lilia's great.
And as expected, the Brody smells really good right now. It's looking really good. If Entity 7 pick up a Claude, Moskov, or carry, I think it's an insta Brody, right? XP. They need something. They need something to deal with this. Now, what is it? Paquito against the Uranus.
All right. Pretty much.
Unless this is gold, and then they like pick another guy.
Surprise EXP, yeah. I mean, after all of this, the Esmeralda's still open. But then it's really just the Uranus, you dead lane that. Unless Akashi is feeling something else. I mean, I wouldn't even want to consider... maybe if you really want to reach the Brody, you go crazy with it. You put the Paquito in gold and you pick up something like a Bene. At least you have some form of dive and access. But oh, wait, no, yeah, it's Brodyable.
But Brody.
Now's the time.
Brody.
Yeah.
If it's not Brody, safe choice would be Moskov, but after seeing the Granger, Kelra ain't about that safe game, bro.
Yeah, we thought Granger has pretty much just bowed out of the meta. He pops up here and there, not always the best results, but he made it work last time. Pretty sure Brody, he'll be able to make it work as well. But Entity 7, they said they wanted to be aggressive, you know. Aggro looks good for them. They have a lot of dive.
That's true. Now, hear me out. Beatrix with a Cho.
Yes.
Pull up that skin, Kelra. We know it's in you, bro.
Yeah.
And speaking of, Naisu did bring up, it's the KK combo just a bit different. I feel like in the drafts as well, it's very much like that M6 onic Philippines composition. The Brody gets locked in. We read that out quite early. And this was actually a pick that got them one of their only games. Their only game actually in the grand finals against Vitality.
Oh yeah, they picked that up quite early on in the series. And now here it shows up in MSC. There is precedence for it. Super Marco and Team Falcons PH picked it up. Entity 7 seems like they weren't ready for the Brody pick, or were they? Maybe this very high aggro, high damage, all dive, potentially fast tempo lineup that the South Americans, the players from Latin America are known for, will be able to force a Game 3 for this series. We're gonna bow out for now as we head into game number 2, tossing it back on over to Guidon Bush. Sorry, that's Gideon and Naisu.
Thanks. The enemy reaches the back.
Reptar, it's a great day to be here for Series 3, but also this for onic, they're looking for the opportunities, but it's about that snowball.
Yeah.
They have to play through strong side, which they start at level 1.
They want to build the snowball right now. Ouch. Okay, Revitalize is burnt. I think they're happy with that, but that's going to be tough for E7 because this is always what we see. Early game pressure in the mid lane, trading out some battle spells. And so you don't have that Revitalize. It's nothing too crazy, but obviously it's going to kind of change your game plan here. Let's take a quick look at the emblems for now.
Yep, so far the emblems is going to be Master Assassin, no...
Oh,
no shit.
hold on, shit.
Oh.
You don't get a chance.
You got... it's one of those moments where it's just like, yeah, you already... The level 1 got messed up.
Yeah.
So you probably shouldn't be the one opening up the bush as well, or maybe using the Fork Lightning as a means to open, but the same can be said about Vagwin, right? You just gonna have to just open up the map somehow. And look at the control, the tempo already... Oh, the sidestep from T-Boy.
Oh, look at the pressure, actually. Hide on Bush. Again, nowhere to go. Double for Keyboy 3-0 on this Cho. That's a roam Cho, by the way.
By the way, Kyrie is already level 4, like nearly before the minute even started. Like this is a ridiculous start for onic developing a 1.6k lead less than 2 minutes into this game. And what sucks about it is that Hana Bush has no camps to actually take. And then he goes up to the EXP. Guess what? No crab there. I gotta go invade. And Keyboy, he's sniffing it out.
What it feels like is a Harley with no magic right now, man. Like he's starved out. You're seeing it. Keyboy is enough pressure. Okay, at least there's a caveat there. Our kill going to the hands of Shin. So a little bit of an overstep probably from Silent there. He did burn his flicker in that, but still, man, this is one of those cases where you give up this first turtle. You don't really want to maybe contest this just because of the fact that Hainan Bush has already been delayed enough. If he's delayed further, then we've seen that before be the case.
Yeah, and honestly, nobody wants to fall behind, especially since Keyboy wants to maintain that passive from his roaming boots. In the meantime, though, I'm looking down on bot side, and Doom is also having a pretty tough time against Keller, who's got an amazing freeze by his tower.
All right, as we expected, Turtle just gonna go in the hands here of onic. Meanwhile, over on the other side of the map, a little bit of trading going on there. Keyboy will be able to go ahead and take it. He's almost got the flicker available, and now that he's got the kick, he's got that Way of the Dragon. He's going to continue to be a nuisance there in the jungle. Over on this top side where Kyrie is, though, keeping tabs on him. Good protection, though, coming out from E7. They need to do this. They need to get these guys out of their side of the jungle, and they'll do that behind on Bush. Once again, Kyrie, level 7, goes through. Good thing, Hainan Bush able to get his purple buff.
And great rotation here coming in from Kyrie as well. He's not going back up towards that top side. He just completely decided, you know what, we're going to cut through that mid lane. We're expecting Akashi to actually start participating in these fights. And now they're back on the invade.
Doom's only level 3. Oh no, it gets worse. Shin going down here. The fight for the orange. Hainan Bush won't be able to get that one. And man, someone's got to help Doom here. I just realized, yeah, he's only this level 3 at this point, and Kyrie level 8, man.
This is ridiculous. Like, Kelra has got a permanent freeze here. What is he supposed to do? Like, well, they need Vagwin to actually come down and break this freeze, or literally anybody to break this freeze. It's... Oh, no, he's dead.
No, Doom. Okay, BMI, but torn apart memory, okay.
Oh, okay, not bad.
Not enough marks.
Not enough marks. The Purify came in just in time.
Oh, but Keyboy's here. Rest of the team, too. They know this. He's gonna go ahead and get some regen on, but oh, pop the blades. He's doing it. There's Keyboy. Goes in with a kick. Not the target he was probably looking for, so he kicks Shin. Doom does go down, though. We'll finalize the help. Meanwhile, Kyrie gets a kill across the map against the Kashi. But onic will continue to build up. Gideon, I don't think we've seen this kind of a lead at the 4-minute mark.
Right now, the game is up to onic. Like, if onic whiff anything, if they give a shutdown over to E7, maybe there's an opportunity. But if they play just a standard game of constant invades and just using their capital lead that they have, their economic lead, there's just nothing they can do. I mean, I'm looking at this replay and it's just like, what's the point, right? The dive wasn't the cleanest dive, yet it doesn't matter when your base stats are just way higher than your opponents.
Yeah, you can see that too, and the reaction there from Keyboy, obviously. In that too, he picked up the Radiant Armor, so now he can be more durable, you know, against these magic damage dealers that ND7 has. And that's all part of the plan of not letting that lead that they built up already so quickly slip out. And this is the thing, another turtle's just gonna go over to onic. There's no contest here. So when it's this case, when we have to think of Entity 7's chances of turning the game over on this head, you know, with this kind of landslide right now for onic, where is that going to be? Who is going to be that person? You know, because Doom, you would think it'd be the Claude, but my goodness, he was delayed so much, frozen out of his lane.
Yeah, it's a... Honestly, I think this is a prisoner's dilemma already. It's like asking a mother who's their favorite child. It's you gotta pick one, unfortunately, and right now it's not Doom. That's what I could say. Oh no.
Oh, Kashi. Keyboy under the turret. There's the kick right in between both. They don't care. They'll get a kill. There's the stunt Lootby. Kyrie with a retribution. Gonna chase down Shin. Shin able to get away though. But that's just a preview of how much onic can take from Entity 7 as a turret is pushed now in the bottom lane. Tier 2, Doom, nowhere to go. Popping the Purify. Has to stay alive at all costs, but Kyrie's here. All the iframes to work with, and a torn apart memory from Kelra will cap out another kill.
Make it stop. This is a public execution here from onic. They are not letting up, and they want to make sure that it is known you can't play anything less than perfect.
Couple shots here. All right, flicker burn, at least for Sans. But still, so much work for Entity 7 to deal with that they just have to watch the tier 2 turret go down nearly here in that bottom lane. It's just onic doesn't have anything else to take, so they'll just keep pressing on these turrets.
You know, I've watched a lot of games in my career, but never one where I've been so confident that this game is kind of over already.
Yeah.
It's an 8.4k lead 6 minutes into the game, and these positions are literally impossible to get out of unless onic all decide to like run at fountain or something like that. But it's very unlikely. Once you're at a stage where you're already an item and a component ahead of your opponent, it becomes very difficult to actually claw your way back out of this, especially since a lot of the combinations are very single target rather than hitting multiple people. Yeah. And that's the big difference between E7 and Team Liquid's composition. Even though Team Liquid was losing massively at that point in time, the comeback with ability comes down to the 5 wombo combo, which they don't have.
Yeah, and what you're seeing here too, you know, there's a phrase over in the Philippines that's used quite a bit. It's called Hunger Games. You hear the professional players say it, where they take everything from the jungle, pretty much. Akashi, they'll take him as well. They're going to be looking for Doom next. Doom will be able to get away with the BMI, but now Bagwin trying to run himself away, but it's just way too much. As another goes down for E7, and onic will shortly be knocking on these holy defense shields already this early on.
Yeah, look, they just sit in base. Yep, he's already holding on to 2 waves, because what are they gonna do? Like, no DHS? All right, that's fine. Max stacks on Uranus. He's gonna regenerate harder than everybody put together.
Yeah, this is just, at that point, Lootby just pressing on the wounds for this one.
He's gonna walk into target just to restart the stacks.
Yep, restart the stacks. Another wave coming through mid. Tier 1 gone, Tier 2 next. They still hold on to the shields, but Entity 7, again, look at this, the glooms. A couple glooms bringing Doom down to a third of his health.
Dude, Lootby, I hate, especially when you're playing Uranus at a high level.
Just look at him.
And you have such a lead, he just becomes like the solar system's behind here. Just a dirty little man. Look at him. What are you gonna do? Huh? He still has his ult. And then he punts on up and he does nothing. He's just literally face-checking them.
This is only possible when you're 13,000 gold ahead as a team. Bagwin desperately jumping in with the Avatar of the Guardian, but he's just going to go to his death. Loopy still in the base. He hasn't moved at all. A flicker forward from Sans, trying to get the kill Another defense shield popped, but look, Loopy still not moving from this. He's his own just bulwark for this team. He does burn the flicker. There you go. Finally, Entity 7. They're done with the disrespect.
I'm sure hoping that onic isn't trying to farm the numbers here because it's looking very, very good so far. Oh, Calamity Reaper going on right on Bush. Kind of interesting what he's going for here. Wants to make sure that he has a little bit of true damage on top of everything else, but I think right now he kind of needs some sustain. Not to mention that Kelra has been playing literally pixel perfect as well, making sure that he isn't missing a beat. Catching up and cleaning out the majority of these kills, but now that we're coming into the 9th minute of the game, onic, this is it, right? No holy shielding on every single side of Entity 7's base. They're going to be able to get this. Zipper, could you pull up the items just in case? I don't want to be wrong about this, but I think that Doom should be like an item and a half. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, it hurts.
Uh-oh, it's going to hurt more here. Sans does take some damage. He's got the black shoes. He's going to be fine. A little jump there on the fence. They're going to get run down in their jungle, so ignoring the Lord for now. They'll just take a buff, make their way back to it. But what do they get out of that? Again, some of these ultimates used up, battle spells. E7 still wants to show up for this. Potentially, they might just get punished here, though, if they do.
Everything that could have gone wrong in the early game has gone wrong for Entity 7, and I think that as much as it feels soul-crushing for Hydon Bush, it's one of those games that you wish, like, all right, it's a GG, go next. I understand that we're going to have to play through the lower side, but this is really, really rough. And I think the only few mistakes that onic can make, it's difficult for Kyrie because at this stage, he's got enough cooldowns to get his iframes back up before the killing blow actually comes through. I think it's got to be down to like just Sans and Kelra who need to give away these kills, particularly Kelra.
And I don't know if that's going to happen, man.
He usually doesn't do that.
It's usually not the case, but even if it was the case, Entity 7 just doesn't have the firepower. I feel like they almost have to expend too much for them to cap out a kill on an overstep that most likely won't happen from Kelra. Now for onic, with this Lord marching towards the base, the 14,000 gold too is even bigger than the Lord right now. Lutfi up again, leading the charge. There you go again. Just Shin deleted off the map here. 2 base turrets down. onic looking to cap it out here under the 12-minute mark once again. One more desperate attempt here from E7, but they'll just lock it down and come in cleaning as onic comes in to clean up the series in a sweep against Entity 7.
An absolute massacre, a murder here up in the group stages. onic, they're not holding back their punches anymore. They've taken advantage of every little thing in this game, and those who gave away those kills were purely for donation purposes.
Yeah.
Holy cow. This is going to be an exciting MSC. You know, we've seen many upsets. We've seen those who are looking for former glory. They don't want to make the same mistakes past 2-3 years ago, even if we dig far enough. All of these players, they're looking for revenge. They're looking for the top spot.
This was, again, interesting to go through the way that it did through the drafts, through the picks. But this is also the onic that I feel like a lot of people have seen shades of throughout their course of their journey up here to MSC in 2026 for EWC. But again, it's a refined version of them. You know, and I think a big part of that is they're playing into where the meta is currently. They're really honing in on that. But even the way they move around the map, Gideon, it just looks like they're cleaner than what we've seen previously.
Yeah, no, they had tempo at every single moment in this game. They made sure that they checked the foundational bookmarks, and most importantly, they went above and beyond and reached further, right? Keyboy was allowed to do Keyboy things, which he hasn't been able to do as often in the recent years, but now it feels like he's back to his normal self. Yes, I will disrespect you, I will get everything out of you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, him and Loopy both, man, just having the time of their lives there. Again, think about that, how good of a start that is. A 3-0 start for Keyboy on the Cho. Just dominant, you know, able to go ahead and just do whatever he wants basically in the opposing jungle of E7 here. And that also just, again, when we talked about the discussion about the Hirara and how you have the most success with that hero, your team has to support that to happen, and they did it from the start.
Yep. And from the start to the end, we're going to now throw over to our winners up on stage with Rose for the interview.
Thank you very much, guys. And oh my. onic with such a dominant sweep up against Entity 7. A 2-0 game. And of course, we are on stage with someone who I last saw last year under the banner of onic Philippines. But this time, he returns to the MSC stage as onic. How are you, Kelra?
I'm okay. I'm fine. Gwenchana.
Did you miss playing in MSC?
Yes. Very, very much. I miss to play to MSC.
I have to ask you, what's the difference with playing with onic Philippines last year and playing with onic this year? Okay, go!
Ang pinag-ayawan nila, naglalaro akong kampi kay mga Indonesia ngayon at saka yung comms namin, iba.
He said playing with Indonesians, they have different comms compared to, I'm pretty sure, onic PH last year, where they would primarily communicate in Tagalog. Now, I have to ask you, today was a day filled with surprises and upsets. We saw incredibly fast games. We saw Rafael in the mid lane. I gotta ask you, what do you think about the meta right now?
Yung meta ngayon, ano talaga depende sa team kung may sarili-sariling meta yung mga teams ngayon and wala talagang sinusunod na meta. Yung ngayon, kumbaga kung anong strength mo, yun yung lalaroin mo.
He said that as of now, there's actually no specific meta. It's more towards playing towards your strength and just capitalizing on what plays out. You seem very happy to have a translator on stage, huh? So, Kelra, aside from the meta, I want to ask you, your next opponent is going to be Aurora, who just 2-0 clean sweep TL just now. And if we look back to last year, when you met them on your opening match in onic Philippines, you guys lost against Rosa Selena. So, what are the preparations for that matchup up against Aurora?
Preparation lang namin, siguro masayusin namin yung mabumben namin and babawi ako sa Aurora kasi tinalo nila kami last EWC.
He said that what he's going to be working on is obviously their map rotations, and he is going to get a revenge match up against Aurora for beating him last EWC. Any words to the fans here in the arena today?
Maraming salamat sa mga puntang Pinoy dito. Patuloy na sinusuportahan pa rin kami and sa lahat ng mga pumunta yung nag-effort and maraming salamat sa pagsuporta.
Kelra said thank you to all the Filipinos who came down to the arena and to give them their support. Continue supporting them. And you know what? I'm pretty sure he hopes to see you guys again. Thank you very much, Kelra. It's amazing to be back on stage with you.
Yes!
Yes! Thank you! All right, that's it from us. We're showing it back to the studio to break down what happened in this series. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rose. That was amazing. I mean, what a personality, Kelra. And you can hear the screams. A lot of happy fans for whatever Kelra had to say. The onic crowd is going live here in Paris, France at EWC 26. And MSC has really started off strong, guys. We saw two upsets. Mirko and Renmar joining me back on the desk. We saw two upsets to start off these series. Now this one, it wasn't an upset, but it was the fastest series overall. Two sub 12-minute wins. onic, we said they were on, talk about Golden Road. They're on the road for a championship, and it looks like they started off strong.
Oh yeah, dude. They just dominated every single aspect of the game, having winning matchups in all of those individual lanes and just capitalizing on every single one of them. Again, they set it up in the first phase. It doesn't even look like they're trying to hide it, but I guess it's like it could be an experience, but there you go. I guess, bro. I guess so too.
I feel like we needed to see a result like this after the very shocking day, start of the day that we had. But of course, unfortunately, that it was at the expense of Entity 7, where I'm sure they're very hungry to, have a much better start here and get some better results.
Yeah.
I guess it's just unfortunate that they went up against a team that's like one of the most aggressive in the world.
Yeah.
And it really felt like they tried to play a similar style, too similar to onic, and yeah, they just got beat there.
Maybe needed to, we talked about this yesterday, fire with fire. Maybe needed to slow it down. So hard to do, though, against the caliber of these types of players. Talking about MVPs and Kelra. And obviously, things worked out well for them. But, Mirko, if you broke it down, they were fast games. What was the key to success for onic in this matchup?
I think it's just having winning lanes across the board and having the assassins, having someone like Kyrie to force out those bans, force out those I'd say strange picks as well coming in from Entity 7, right? Like all the way from game number 1, it was a Fanny and Ling ban into no Hirara for Entity 7. And in game number 2, they gave the Hirara over again. without a Ling response. I feel like right now, teams who don't have the Fanny, don't have the Ling in their arsenal are really going to be at a disadvantage. We see it back-to-back games now.
Yeah.
For Entity 7, they just didn't even have, I'd say, like the plan. Again, it's the same as what we said for game number 1. It looked like they were coming into this matchup thinking, all right, how do we not lose instead of how do we win?
Yeah. And Rimar, you said it was kind of a meta's past. A few months ago, you saw that first draft from Entity.
Yeah, even their decision here, the fact that they went with the Gata Kacha and then the Harley as one of their next 2 picks after picking up the Eudora. They picked up the Eudora, they knew the Hirara was coming out, only picked up the Cho, then suddenly, I feel like they're scared to now pick up or even consider the Ling. They ended up doubling down on the Harley. Harley, not a terrible pick, but I feel like they just weren't able to play it with the way that they wanted to, and then at the end of
midnight,
the effect of the previous series bleeding on over to this one. Yeah. Also, I feel like they didn't expect the Brody to come out at all. They picked up a Claude. Brody was wide open. Mirko called it. We realized, like, yeah, it's such a good pickup for onic. I don't think it even crossed their minds that the Brody would pop up. And you saw how difficult it was for Doom to even farm in lane. He was straight up frozen out the entire game.
The gold standard. So many onic fans happy with that one. And they get to go home early or relax at the venue. There's a lot going on here at EWC 26 here at the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet, though. The action is all MSC, and we're finding a way, I think, to break down what we've seen because we're trying to learn something. And I think on the outside looking in, you can only glean so much. But now, I know, Renmar, you've got a couple of clips for us that you want to break down that maybe give us a bit more insight as to why things worked out so well for onic.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at the draft here real quick again, just so that we can revisit. You want me to keep going forward? Just so that we can revisit what happened. Yeah, we pointed it out. They picked up the Eudoras first. They gave up the Cho and the Hirara. But then these two, this screams meta's past. If they wanted something a little bit more proactive, if they knew that they had the Burst with them and that they're going up against Burst, it wouldn't be too crazy to consider picking this up. But then they were thinking, okay, but there's an Esmeralda. Then why don't you pick up the Esmeralda if you're worried that you wouldn't have an answer to the Uranus? And then with the Brody open up here, you knew it was coming. We knew it was coming out. Mirko called it. They still ended up picking up the Cloud, and then that just ended up being really difficult for them. I feel like they also leaned in a little bit too hard with taking away some of the best picks that you could go for here. For Sans, they took out the Eve, they took out the Juicin, but the Lilia was still wide open, and that was one of the safest picks that you could go for. So yeah, draft choices, a lot of questions, and I will double down on what Mirko has been saying. Well, we've been saying they were playing and drafting not to lose. Yeah.
I think for me, it's also just like, if you look at the drafts again now, they didn't really have a plan after banning the Eve, because if they wanted to pick up the Claude, if they knew they were going to pick up the Claude, why even ban the Eve, right? Like, look at that again. They banned out the Juice and the Eve. They should have banned out the Juicin and the Lilia if the Claude was actually what they were already aiming for all the way from first phase.
Yeah, all right. So now let's look up how this game started out here for Entity 7. There we go. So it was just really a tale of this start here. They found them over here and then they continued. With Shin going down, great use of the flicker. Keyboy was aggressive, just the right amount. Vagi knew that he wouldn't have any help here. And this onslaught would continue. Highland Bush wants to go orange, but then at this point you're thinking, how is a Gatakacha who's about to fall down with a Eudora just coming back supposed to protect with this Cho? Not much. It will just trigger a lot of usages from the abilities. Easy burst. onic made that start look so easy. It was simple, really. Once they saw where the Roman mid were, once they got a read of where the jungler was, pretty much there was nothing that they could do, and that was it. It was over from the first minute and a half of the game, because that snowballed into just more aggressive plays by onic that Entity 7 had no response for. They couldn't even help their gold laner anymore because of how badly they lost the first minute and a half.
Yeah, onic going to be facing up against Aurora Gaming tomorrow. Also, that means that we're going to see Team Liquid face off against Entity 7. Will it be just as fast? That one's going to be an elimination match as well, so stay tuned for that. We'll get all the details for the bracket. We've still got one more series to go, though, and before we jump into there, let's head over to Chris and Glitter Explosion for a Club Championship update here at EWC.
another Club Championship update heading your way. I'm here with Lauren once again. Your stage is very much rumbling away like ours has been as well, but big Club Championship update from you.
Yeah, we have a lot going on. So today we're sending 8 teams home. 8 keys will be crushed as we head into finals. However, our finals could not be any more stacked with the current clubs at the top of our Club Championship leaderboard, okay? We have the defending champs Twisted Minds, but then we also have Vitality, Na'Vi, AGAL. We have Falcons just solidifying their spot. Yeah, this is going to be a pivotal game for the Club Championship side of things.
Wow, I mean, which way are you kind of leaning with it? Because I know it's get very, very close with that one. But has anybody been standing out?
We actually have a couple teams that aren't in CC standing out right now. We had Myth doing really, really well, but we do have Liquid in there starting to pop off. We see AGL has had some strong performances after a slower start, and honestly, defending champs Twisted Minds also look really good. This could really go any way.
Excellent. I'm really looking forward. I'm going to be keeping up with everything going on over on Lauren's stage. But there's your little Club Championship update. We'll be keeping up for the rest of the weekend.
He can come in here and play my game. He knows nothing but go!
Tyler 1, you're done.
Raw energy, half a puff and blow the house down.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
The Esports Nation Cup in Riyadh in November. You're going to be able to see 16 games go toe-to-toe for 4 weeks, representing their nations for the first chance to win a title for their club, their nation, and make history. Make sure you are watching the prizing, and not only that, just the glory is going to be on the line in November. It's going to be a lot of fun. Esports Nations Cup coming up. I can't wait for that. Welcome back to the Desco. We've got one more series to go. My name's Randy. I'm joined by Mirko and Rinmar here to talk about Myanmar. Yangon Galacticos finally jumping in the conversation. They had to wait all day, see all these wacky results. Oh, yeah. And now we finally get to see them heading up against Armena Giants and GK Esports. Mirko, what's your thoughts heading into this one?
Hey, Yangon Galacticos have always been a team on my radar, right? Got the honor to actually cast a lot of their games, a lot of their tournaments in the past, their qualifiers to international events, and they've always shown glimpses of brilliance here and there. They show tremendous domination, I mean, in their domestic leagues, but then when it comes to internationals, maybe it's because of the lack of the experience for some of their members, but they just don't shine as much as they shine in their domestic league, especially at M7. Very disappointing result. Coming into MSC though, again they had a dominant run, but it was with the utility jungle. Han was fantastic on those picks. Now that